since we just got raided. Hello, hello! Saku Demon, thank you so much for the raid. Hello everybody. For those of you who are new around here, my name is Feth the Exorcist. And I am obviously an Exorcist VTuber. I primarily stream tabletops. Tonight we are playing Call of Cthulhu. And it's gonna be a fun time. We're currently waiting on one of our players to get in here.
Vivian, where are you?
Because we need Vivian. We need Vivian.
Hang on, what was Vivian again? What was their job?
They're
Sorry, it's
the
hard to keep
witch.
track.
They're the witch.
Oh, they're the witch. Yeah, it's hard to keep track because I'm in like so many games right now. Oh, and Pat's here as well. Yay.
Hello, Pat.
Oh, and Bimo decided to drop by as well.
Yes, hey, Bebo. Yeah, so, yes, a few announcements for those who haven't, been here for a while. In case you haven't noticed, there's a community challenge going on right now. If you guys can accumulate 100,000 feathers by Halloween, I will do a face reveal on Halloween during the Halloween session. Also, you guys are in for a surprise tonight, so be on the lookout for that tonight. The charity is still going on, so if you can donate to the Make-A-Wish, please do so via the button below the right side of the screen. Neither I nor Twitch will see a single penny of it. It all will go straight to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. With that, how is everybody doing, guys?
Could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
I am swell.
All right.
Indeed, you are. We're all slow. We all live in the past by approximately 0.7 milliseconds.
Oh, I said swell, but I guess you heard me say slow.
They both contain L's and W's.
Lee, Reginald, Liliana, how about you?
I'm hanging in there.
Talking on mute, but I'm also doing my best to conserve my voice.
Right.
Aren't we all? Your voice is disappearing. My throat hurts. Half the people I know currently in my life at some point are sick.
Right.
It is getting
Passing
colder
it
up
through the
north.
wires.
I'm fairly certain that there are some people in this call that live further north than me, and I live in the country north of you.
I live in the Pacific Ocean.
Ah, then you don't know what cold is.
Yeah, I don't live near the Atlantic Ocean. That shit freezing.
I don't live near the ocean either. I've been to both oceans, though.
So with that, I hope Vivian can make it soon because we can't really advance without them. given what has been planned tonight.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to stop the music, and we'll do a recap of what's happened last week. So last week you made it to the spiritual plane via the spire. And you were guided into a village by fairies who claimed that their elder can tell you about the ravens, the truth about the ravens. And when you all make it to the village, it's you feel safe. You feel at peace here. As if nothing can bother you. As soon as you meet the elder, she cuts you guys off from the outside world in the spiritual plane, so that way the ravens can't listen in on your conversation. During the conversation, you discover that during the conversation, you guys discovered that the ravens have been lying to you this entire time. The reason why they invited you to help them investigate the increase in traffic of the souls in the first place was to speed up or expedite the process of what is known as the calamity. The calamity a calamity happens when several entities in this or in two universes collide, and they it just so happens that everything in two universes are going to combine at the same time, which is what can cause reality to collapse. In order for you guys to stop the calamity from destroying reality, you have to either stop the merging from happening or slow it down enough to where it will not cause destruction of reality. And in order to do that, you got to make it to Alfheim. As far as what you have to do in Alfheim, you do not yet know. All that matters right now is getting to Alfheim. With this, I'm going to try and message. Actually, I am going to go ahead and try and call Knight, aka Vivian, because maybe calling them will get their attention. So you guys converse with yourselves. I'll be right back.
Alright, how are we gonna take over the world? 'tis a shame that they will not be able to progress their story at an opportune time where it, makes logical sense.
Well, uh, they shall live with the consequences because they know this is a scheduled event. So, with this, um, Lee, do you want me to describe, what I told you about the plan, the possible plan, or do you want to say it in character?
Because I am not quite certain what you are referring to, I will let you do it. However, I also have a question of my own.
Okay, what's the question?
Before we begin with what we were practicing last night, will we all have an opportunity to converse amongst ourselves, ask any last questions that want or need to be asked? All of
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So, so in that case, you guys have two choices to on how you want to get to Alfheim. You can go the slower and safer route, or the faster and more dangerous route.
Hey, boss, guess who just arrived?
I got back from dinner and saw the messages.
Okay. So then now I can make your thing visible, and I can finally change your image. Been waiting for you.
Yay.
Let me. Okay. And here we go.
I love how all of our characters here, Vivian, looks like they're straight out of a D&D campaign.
What was that?
The artwork.
Oh. Yeah, thanks, Starry AI.
That's because it is. I recognize that.
The artwork of my character?
The first one, it keeps switching between the two.
Oh.
One of those is from the D&D campaign.
There you go. You're now completely changed.
There we go.
Switches back when they're not talking.
Now,
Oh, there we go.
Now, I do need to ask each of you who have not already to give me your character sheets, because I will need them tonight.
All right, character sheet coming right up.
See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. So this will actually be perfect. So, Vivian, since now you're here, you can, if you would like, to explain the options. You can, or you can have me explain the options.
I will let you explain the options. Your verbiage is a little better than mine.
Okay. So, yeah. So as I was saying, before, you guys get two options on how you want to try it and get to Alfheim. You can go the slower and safer route, or the quicker and more dangerous route. If you go the slower and safer route, we'll end up having you guys fight fight the ravens. However, one of them just means there will be the safer route just means there will be less ravens to deal with.
Hmm. So are we gonna go for the fast route or the not so fast route?
Well, the not so fast route will pose less threat to us. But obviously, to stop the calamity, we won't have much time if we arrive in. Once we get there.
Right, but we will still have more numbers on our side, since there's less of a risk of us, of any of us perishing, and the more of us, the better. So, I'm voting for the slower route on this one.
I wouldn't mind the slow route if it means that less people get hurt. We won't have to deal with those birds if we ever were to reach this place called Altheim.
Well, in the grand calculus of things, we are weighing our lives over the lives of the multiverse, so I am more than happy to take the fast route.
I say we should do it. If the only way there to get there in time would be risking ourselves, well, I ain't got much to go back to other than a job and me own.
So, which means Reginald, I think, is Reginald the tiebreaker here? Or no, not the tiebreaker, is Reginald. Reginald could possibly bring a tie here.
It's hard to say. I'm actually going to forgo a vote, so that way there can't be a tie, since there's an even number of people.
Well, I'd still like you to voice your opinion at least. Thank you, Nameless
Name
G.
underscore Lesk has joined the respect.
Nameless G for the follow with respect. But at least voice your opinion, so that way you're not left out at least.
I'm not entirely sure I see a reason to, specifically because there are advantages and disadvantages to both, and I don't see one as being any more beneficial than the other.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So then, just to clarify, for in the Discord. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, thank you guys for the character sheets. All right. So in this sidebar, go ahead and just say 1 or 2. 1 being going the slow and safer route. 2 being the fast and dangerous route.
I'm just gonna send it to you in DMs.
Can Lee ask Fifth a question at this time?
Yes.
Hey, comrade. Say we were to take the faster route. If something goes catastrophically wrong, and all but, say, one or two of us remain, would it still be possible then, as long as there's at least one left of us, to stop this calamity?
Yes. And also, if you do end up, if there are casualties, if there are casualties during the escape in either route, then you will don't worry about ceasing to exist, as you are still mortals. Therefore, all that will happen is you'll simply have to make your journey through the planes of existence again. Only this time, though, your journey is permanent, and you cannot interact with mortal beings.
Right.
Hence why my arm is like this, showing his withered arm.
Lee gives a solemn nod of acknowledgement. But, wait. You said escape just now?
That's what you're doing. You're escaping the spiritual plane to get to Alfheim.
Ah, right.
And I will say that though yes, the faster route is more dangerous, the gods of Alfheim may reward you for your bravery if you make it. However, this is basically a high risk, high reward scenario. You take the higher risk of losing your lives for the possibility of a higher reward, or you take the safer route and have better strength in numbers when you go to take on the calamity.
Right. And originally, I was leaning more towards the slow route, since again, the more of us, the better. But with what you've just said, and that it would still be possible even with just one of us remaining. Lee turns around to face everyone else. All right, lads, lasses. Each and every one of you. Are you willing to forfeit your lives for this?
Always time enough to go on one more adventure.
It's not like we have a choice, Ray. It's like, even if we get out of here, it's not like we're gonna live long. The calamity going on.
Detective?
Reginald, you alive?
What? Detective?
Yes, you're the detective, aren't you?
No. I'm the I'm the parapsychologist.
Well, same thing, because you're an investigator. But yeah,
But I'm in agreement. At the end of the day, if the world's end anyway, I mean, I don't see much of a reason not to be willing to risk one's life.
Well, if we don't make it out alive, today's a hell of a good day to die.
you could say it's a good day to die hard.
And besides, we'll get nice front row seats when the multiverse goes boom if we fail.
Can't disagree there.
Lee nods to himself and turns back to Feth. Comrade, another question. If any of us perish here, will that in any way at all affect our traversal through the planes, the 7 planes, once we die?
Well, to put it simply, you can't go the same way that you did to get here previously. You have to go the modern way, which is still a treacherous journey in and of itself. And it is a longer journey. So if any of you perish, I'm afraid I won't be seeing you for possibly decades. It could even be centuries before I see you again if you perish.
What's a few hundred years amongst friends?
I think it's best that we don't die then.
Yeah. Either way, I cannot decide for you. You must decide for yourselves. And Ken Mena steps forward and says, "And you must all go together as one, for otherwise, I fear it may be impossible for you to take on the ravens should you encounter them." If you're not all together.
Right, but then, based upon what he said, as long as there is still one of us left, it is possible. No?
There is some people that may be able to help you on the other side. Which is why it is still possible for you to stop the calamity if even just one of you make it to the other side.
Right.
If that's the case, I wouldn't mind taking the scenic route, but whatever the rest of you decide, I am fine with either choice.
Well, based upon what we've just heard, it seems we already have come to one. As have I.
All right, so because it's looking like some decisions or votes may have changed, I'll instead do the traditional way of casting your votes. All in favor of going the slow and safer route, say aye. And all that is in favor of the other, of the dangerous route, say nay.
Nay?
I assume that the nay means that we want to go for the fast yet dangerous route?
Yes.
Nay.
Nay. Nay.
Has Lee decided he's taking the slow route?
No, he has changed his mind to the fast route, seeing what everyone else has said.
Then my vote's still the same. Still a yay. Or still a nay. Let's go. Fast route.
2, 3, 4. Same thing with Reginald and Matthew and Owen, or what? Oh yeah, Owen, you did just say nay. So Matthew and Reginald.
Matthew was never going to cast a vote. He was going to go with whatever the group was going with.
Okay, so you abstained. And Reginald, you also abstained as well.
I didn't realize we had 2 people that were abstaining. That would defeat the purpose. So I'll
Right.
just say nay, I guess.
Okay, so it's looking like the vote is unanimous. So you're all going to the fast and dangerous route.
You're also willing to throw your lives away for the safety of the world. Didn't know there was you guys are all heroes here.
Well, the world is a lot of beautiful sights out there. It would be a shame if there are people who didn't get to see them.
So this is where I'm going to give you guys your surprise. Give me a moment.
Oh, ragtag to the heroes, aren't we?
Well, a hero is as a hero does. Nobody starts their day thinking they're gonna go out and do something big and be a hero, now do they? For all of us, it's just another day. And then something happens. Isn't it just the same here?
Yeah, but this is a bit different. This is mortal peril we're throwing ourselves towards.
Well, consider this. The world doesn't exist outside of us. We exist within it. If the world ends, so do we.
And that's why I mean when we have no choice in the matter. Even if we do get out of this place alive, we won't live long with the calamity. We have to deal with it one way or another. Which I am content with.
Even if we did go home now, what good would it do? What would we be going home to? What with this knowledge? Knowing how big the world is, bottling that up inside, never able to speak of it again? If we went home now, it would be a cop-out, wouldn't it?
All right, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and when I fix it, give me a second. Let me figure out. There we go. Go ahead and take a look at the stream.
I see a green box.
You're
When it-
green screened, boss.
When it catches up.
Yep, now I can see it. It's a little bit in the corner, though.
It's a plague doctor.
Hello.
Hello.
What's a motorsport?
And I'm actually dressed up. So with this, it is time to open up Tabletop Simulator. I will display the screen in the stream. Let me find the game capture. There we go.
Fifth, while you are doing this,
Yep.
could we all have our chance to like get in like final words and questions before we begin?
Yes. So go ahead.
So Lee faces the group at large. Well, now that it has been decided, I suppose now would be the time to say whatever we need to say, since there are no guarantees that we are coming back or will come back in one piece or see each other in one piece once we are finished with, well, whatever's about to happen. As for myself, firstly, I want to ask, I recall back when we were in the Spire that along with my comrade's diary, there was another book that we received that someone here has. I forget who, but what I'm asking is, what is this book? What purpose does it serve?
You're asking about the diary?
Not Handel's diary, but there was another
Oh,
book
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
handed out to the group,
This
or a journal of some sort.
This book is a tome. It's a tome that will allow you to make the incantation to slow down the calamity. But it can only work, or it'll be most effective in Alfheim, as magic is abundant in Alfheim.
I see. All right. Well, that's that then. Nextly then, comrade, what you just said just now about what happens if we were to die during this. Essentially, we will not ascend through the seven planes like people usually would when they die, but rather will be stuck in Alfheim for decades or even centuries.
No. Oh, who has the... Okay, Math, I need you to mute. Thank you. So, no. You won't be stuck in Alfheim. You'll be stuck in the astral plane.
For an indefinite amount of time, correct?
Until you find a way out of the... Until you find a way to ascend, yes.
And how would that be?
Take care of unfinished business.
Hmm. In terms of spiritually or
I cannot say.
physically? Hmm. Would it be because you just do not know, or you are not allowed to say?
It is forbidden.
I see. Speaking of the planes, which one are you ascending through currently? Would it be this one, the spiritual?
The spiritual plane is is usually the final destination for all souls. I do not plan on reaching godlyhood.
Hmm. I understand. Though if one so wished to, there is a way, though. Correct?
I do not know of anybody who has reached godlyhood, but I suppose it's possible.
Hmm. Now, another thing about these planes of existence. In the case where one dies naturally, or naturally as in not necessarily due to natural causes, but rather just on Earth rather than in a different plane, regardless of how they die, what is the process like of ascending through each plane until they reach the spiritual plane?
That is something you'll have to find out for yourself. All you'll need to know is that once you die, you go to the astral plane.
So the process is different for everyone. The journey here to the spiritual plane.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Forbidden knowledge again, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Now, I must depart, so that way I can hopefully recover my arm.
Oh, well, that was another thing I wanted to ask you about, actually. That withering. Is there a way to reverse it?
Yes, but it is a long and grueling process, which means as of the end of today, I am no longer of use to you. You'll still get messages from my journal, but other than that, today is goodbye, my old friend.
I see, comrade. Will I still be able to write to you through it, like you mentioned?
Yes.
Okay. I do still have several things I would quite like answers to, so that is good.
And Feth nods at you. And with a leaf made sling, he puts his arm in. He readies to depart outside of the the rock that you guys are in.
Lee
I-
wave.
Go,
I'll let
go
Lily go
ahead,
first.
finish. No, finish.
Okay. Lee gives him one last wave and nod, and he takes his journal out and like puts it up against his chest as if to say, "I'll be keeping you close, comrade." And he says, "Thank you, my old friend, and farewell."
Mm-hmm. And
I have an OOC question,
Yep.
if I may.
Yep. Go ahead.
Is this conversation in Lee's head? And is there a hand still holding Liliana's?
This is not in his head. This is everyone can hear this. Everyone can hear this.
Okay, but can everybody also see Feth?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So Lee doesn't just look a little bit mad here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thank you. That is what I needed.
And before leaving, he salutes.
And Lee gives him one back with a small smile on his face.
And with
Would have
an
been funny if you just saw Lee talking to nothing.
with an about face, he marches forward into the mist of the spiritual plane.
Lee can be heard giving a sigh of what sounds like just relief, contentment from just getting to speak with his old friend one last time. But alas, there are still some things he wants to ask before they begin with this thing that is about to begin.
Okay.
So that he turns around to Kenmena and goes up to her and asks in a quieter voice, "Hey, lass, would there be a way for us to speak in privacy? There's something I want to ask you away from the others."
Very well then. Can the rest give us the room?
If you wish.
Lily is going to very begrudgingly let go of Lee's hand.
All right.
And Lee does look down to her before he goes with Kenmena and tries to reassure her.
Right.
Sorry,
So-
lass, but
So then with
This-
this, I will deafen everybody.
I'll be back, lass, but first, this needs to be done.
Dear God.
All right. What is it you would like to ask?
Well,
I
lass,
didn't let you finish.
it has to do with you were meant when we first got here. You mentioned something about only certain people can make their way here, or they have to earn their way here. Is that about right?
Yes.
Well, there's one thing I've been wondering about that. That being, how would it work? Or would there be an exception to...
Age 20 Patrick 6 just redeemed Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Lee stops himself for a moment, looking like he has to. He's thinking very deeply over what he's about to ask, and he takes a breath to regain himself.
Mhm.
How would that work in regards to children who die an untimely death?
Children are a special case. They tend to stay in the astral plane until they know their family's safe. That is their unfinished business. I know about Lillian. And she's still watching over you through the astral plane.
So, she's safe. You're saying.
But come along. We must not we must not dilly-dally any longer. Any other questions you have, you'll more than likely have the opportunity to have answered when you reach Alpine.
Right. I understand.
After all, their libraries are fascinating. And she takes you back to the group.
And Lee follows.
Okay, guys, welcome back. I need to message Knight because apparently they deafened on their own.
Yes. I was going to ask Miss Lillian if she is okay.
It's Liliana.
Liliana.
Jess.
Not. It's safe to undeafen.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna deafen you myself, but
Yeah, I beat you to it.
Karen, are you muted?
No, I just
Oh.
got back with my tea since Feth cut Lee off in the
Okay.
middle of consoling Lily.
Oh no.
So she just didn't get to hear anything he said other than, sorry, lass.
Right. What he was telling her was, I'm sorry, lass, but this needs to be done. I will be back.
He looked up at you and she whispered, promise? All right, moving on.
Yep, moving on.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
Matthew walks over to Liliana when they walk off.
Because you are going the dangerous route, I'm afraid I myself cannot assist you. After all, who else is going to look after my children?
Right. I understand.
What was it Reginald or Matthew that was trying to say something?
Yeah, I was approaching when
Yeah.
When Lee walked off, Matthew was going to approach Liliana.
Right.
To, ask her. Excuse me, Liliana, you okay?
Oh, yes, Doc. You did a mighty fine job patching me up. Well, thank you for that.
It has been a while. I was just making sure you're doing okay.
Well, thank you for the checkup then. I suppose if I've got any complaints, I'll come see you at your office once this is done, eh?
Well, who was the out of character? Who was the other one I healed again? The one with the broken rib.
They're
Rick,
not
though, the
here.
person controlling him has since bowed out of the
Yeah.
campaign.
Ah, got it.
Which, because of, BMO, the player controlling that character, has decided to bow out because they have too much schoolwork to deal with. So you guys will be playing with them again, but it won't be until Halloween night because he has decided to shift his focus to playing only one campaign at a time, and the campaign he chose to stick around in is Alfheim. The Alfheim campaign.
Fair enough.
So,
What'd you figure happened to your other patient, Doc? Just me?
Seems that they wandered off somewhere. I hope they're doing well. Maybe they found a way out of here. Who knows? But are you out of character? Is Lillian standing, or is she like slightly hunched over due to her injury? Because you're relying on Lee to stand. We'll hold him.
Lily's leaning against a door. I believe she's healed back to full health since
Yes.
then.
yes.
Yeah, she's just leaning against a door. She looks a lot better than before.
Yeah.
Still got some black and blue on her. So
Just take care of yourself, okay? I'll still be here as we travel to this Alfheim. We guess we'll wait for Lee to get back. I wonder what he's talking about.
And conveniently enough in terms of timing, Lee comes over at that time, goes over to Lily and asks to pull her aside.
Yeah. So when it comes to interactions with two players, I will not deafen everybody. So
Right.
you two will have to deal with everybody hearing the conversation. Just everyone keep in mind player knowledge versus character knowledge.
Appears that Lee wants your attention.
before Lily goes, she's going to squeeze Matthew's hand tightly in a friendly manner. Look him in the eyes with the most sincere and English is a language, I swear I speak it. A very sincere and gentle look that says she's reading more pain in him, and it feels like he reminds her of somebody very important and very extremely specific that is different from who Lee reminds her of. But still, it's somewhat familial, the way she's looking at you when she says, I will, but physician, heal thyself. And she lets go of Matthew's hand to go speak with Lee.
So he looks down at her. Actually, more than that, he kneels down to be eye level with her and says, "Listen, lass, about for me, I will not stop it."
And stick around as long as you can. Promise me that? She's trembling now. And she's got both hands. She's got both hands sliding around Lee's neck, just clinging to him like she's afraid that she's actually going to lose him. Like he's going to disappear if she doesn't hold on.
And Lee wraps one arm around her back in an attempt to console her, and says calmly to her, "That much, yes. I can promise that much. But again, lass,